Hey guys, Jay here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the Atlas League Start plan. For me at least, I have not actually even decided which build I am going to play in League Start yet. There are a couple of options, something bleed, something slam, something explode, something poison, I don't know. There is a lot of opportunity here, and I will not be deciding until the actual very end of the process of waiting for the next league, basically. I want to talk just a little bit about the Atlas, because that is also part of what is going to be called a league starter, right? Because you have a build, and then you also have an Atlas skill tree, which is going to be working in conjunction with the build in order to make you some amount of currency, whatever you want to do, something else later. Anyway, there will be two parts. The first one is on the screen right now, which is the initial skill, the initial atlas I normally do. So this one is actually it looks kind of dumb, right? But it basically is, I'm trying to get all the chance to get adjacent map to drop. That is basically everything, right? When you put on the search bar here, you put adjacent, and you just basically allocate every single one of them. There are some other things that I am taking with it as well. So the map drop has chance to be one tier higher, which normally in the progressing is a new map anyway. So this actually is a positive one. And then I am going to grab some of the key rack mission thingy. It does help also with progressing on your Atlas, because the key here is just trying to unlock as many points in the Atlas as possible. So just basically get more map drops and try to make it in different maps. Kirak mission is also another source of map completion, because you can get map completion from finishing a Kirak mission, if that makes sense, right? I do also grab a little bit of extra thing here. I believe this one is still strong on this start, because yeah, the sulfide intoxication thing here is technically still borrowed power. It lasts for 60 seconds, it gives you 35% damage, movement speed 15%, and maximum resistance, which actually is okay, but for early mapping, mostly the speed and the damage is going to be the thing that we are caring about here, because we want speed, we want damage, so we clear faster and then progress faster, basically. And with the pack with energy here, I am grabbing a bunch of extra chance for Nico to spawn. So we have more chance of getting the veins, and then we get the bonuses from pack with energy. So that is basically the core concept of it. This is also Nico chance. There's nothing else that I would even worry about here. Maybe you can put like Scarab drop. Maybe you want to do something in particular right now. For example, if you want to, you can do some June stuff. It does slow you down a little bit, right? Because you have to do June's mission. But however, June does allow you to unlock a bunch of crafting options, right? So if you want to, you can totally get betrayal. Let me go here, betrayal, right? And you just basically grab a bunch of betrayal stuff, and yeah, just basically try to unlock things to use later, basically. So this is going to be the first atlas that I am doing. It is pretty much the same from the last league. I did not invented this myself. I learned this concept from Balor Mage by watching one of his video last league, or I think the league before, actually. I don't remember exactly, but this is how I have been doing this for the last couple of leagues, right? Actually, it was last league, because last league is the first time we have 3 atlases, right? Yeah, I think it is. Whenever the time it was 3 atlases, that is the time that I know about this shit. So this is going to be the first atlas that is going to be thrown away very, very quickly. We are going to move to the second atlas and then actually get to some kind of strategy. Today, I'm not going to say that I am sharing the best strategy for League Start with you or anything. No, this Atlas does help you with very fast progression. However, there might be something else that someone is cooking, might be better. I don't know, but this has been working well for me, well enough that I will stay with it for the moment. What is the next step? The next step is going to be the actual Atlas that you are going to be farming with, basically. So you do not really make currency with this. You are trying to unlock the passive point. So basically you are leveling up, right? And then when you have enough point, you set up your second Atlas. This is unlocked on the 50 point that you unlock on the Atlas, I believe. But anyway, when you unlock almost all of the maps on Atlas, or almost all of them, right, like 80%, you can just safely move to the next strategy. And this is going to be mine, right? This is going to be what I am starting with. The reason why I am starting with this strategy is because these content that I am speccing into here does work really well for the build that I am planning to play eventually, which is Casper Stun, right? Surprisingly, right? So I am going to play a build that I can stand in the middle and then just kills everything in the duration of whatever event is going on. And so naturally, the things that I am picking for this, including Ultimatum, so I get basically all the Ultimatum stuff, maybe except for this one because I don't want the extra chance to spawn the shitty stone circle encounter. I will still get this point, right? So if it's spawn, it is a little bit easier to manage. So I get all the Ultimatum stuff, and then I get all the ritual stuff. Those two are the contents where you kind of have a small circle, and then a lot of monsters spawn around. If you play a Casper Stun character, pretty much what you do is you stand directly in the middle of everything. You tank everything, you kill everything, and you get the reward. So that suits the play style of the build that I plan to play eventually. So that is going to be the things that I'm going for. And because it is on this side of the passive skill tree, and there is another particular content that I really like, so I am speccing into that as well, which is the Incursion. Incursion early on, without any actual investment in terms of like scarabs and stuff, actually give you a pretty consistent amount of money, especially early money, like the first couple of divines. You can just farm Incursion, sell temples very, very quickly. You can make like a few divines pretty quickly, and it's very, very reliable. I have always been doing Incursion for a certain amount of time every single week, and it always worked out pretty well, right? So Incursion is going to be the things that I take. Actually, I am going to take Incursion first, and then I am going to take Ritual, and then I am going to take Ultimatum. Because I think those are the easy to middle to harder kind of content, basically. The Ritual, the reason why I take Ritual is because I kind of see some of the new stuff that is exclusively dropped limited to the Incursion reward. It's not dropping it, technically it is in the Incursion reward, and you can have it. So it includes the ticket to get to the King of the Mist, I believe. It does include some uniques. It does include, I think most importantly, are the Spectre corpses. If they appear frequent enough, I think that is going to be a decent source of income for, you know, the early portion of the league. And with some leftover points, I am going toward the Extreme Archaeology. The reason why it is basically another circle, and I think I can just explode it in one go, because probably when I switch to being a chieftain of some sort with explosion, it is super, super good to do the Extreme Archaeology anyway. Just mind the immune to fire. If you don't touch the immune to fire, you're good. Basically, you just pop the expedition, you go into kills everything, and then after a while you might have some things to do with whatever the expedition NPC that you want to, basically. So yeah, that is just the strategy that I'm going to go for. It's nothing special. I know there are rewards in there. I mean, if when I have a certain amount of currency, the main thing that I am going to be farming is going to be Ultimatum, because it's, first of all, it suits the build that I will be playing the most. And also, with proper investment in Scarabs, it actually just give back a very, very good amount of money, right? So I have farmed Ultimatum last league. I believe this league there's no change to it. So yeah, just go Catalyst, go in Inscribe, and then we will benefit, right? So the final kind of advice I would give to anyone who couldn't really decide on what you want to do, right? So personally, I always value, basically playstyle and the feel of the build more than the actual like income of divine per hour. I do think that if you enjoy the experience, if you play it and you enjoy it, you will be playing more and you will be enjoying more and you will overall get more money basically. So yeah, just find something that first of all you like. Second, it works well with whatever the league starter build or the first or the second build that you are going to go for, because that is very important. If you are being efficient in the build for certain content, that is going to be probably the fastest thing that you can do, and it is going to return you profit accordingly. So yeah, that is everything I want to have this video. Next video is going to be back to be something about another build, another kind of setup for league start. I have a couple of plans actually, right? So I do have a couple of plans, but I'm currently not happy entirely about any of them yet to share. So yeah, stay tuned for it. I will be sharing like one or two more setup that I think will be good for league start in terms of build. The Atlas strategy, probably I am going to do it like this. So in case someone want to also league start or second build the Caswin stun character, you are going to farm Ultimatum. This is something that you can also consider, because yeah, I think it might be good. One more thing, because the Caswin stun this league, I intended it to be around the Dark Marionette and then Body Swap Sacrifice. So what we are relying on for damage dealing is the Dark Marionette Spectre. And so Ritual is actually one way that we can find it early on and then actually start to play build early on. A lot of people, I always have been recommended that if you want to play the Caswin Stun character as your first character, what you should do is do RF as your league starter. So you go to Pox.net or watch Pox's latest video, which is like a couple of hours earlier. He released the video on league starting as Righteous Fire in 3.25. And so, he is very, very good at it. He's very good at the build, very good at teaching the build and helping with the build as well. So you can follow it. It's super, super easy. It's going to be super easy. Righteous Fire, even though sometimes when you need single target, you might feel that it's a little bit slow. However, I really, really enjoy the playstyle of not sweating too much, not pushing too hard, not pressing too many buttons or no button whatsoever. So yeah, personally, I would highly recommend go for Righteous Fire. If you go for Righteous Fire, you are also good to farm these kind of contents anyway. Especially when you are Righteous Fire, you pop up a Extreme Archaeology pack of Expedition, and everything just explode, and you just profit, right? So yeah, that is the plan. And please remember, please like and subscribe. That will help me a lot.